Up next on Inside ChampCar, racing with the chef. Welcome to Inside ChampCar. I'm Brian Bielanski. Bill Strong is here, the man with the new title. We're going to get into that a little bit later. And our guest today, I called him the chef. Is it the chef or is it the cook?
The chef.
The chef, okay. So the graphic was wrong, Bill.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to put chef on there because I don't know if he's really a chef. And you know how chefs are. I watch those TV shows with the chefs. Because I'm forced to by the lady in that other room there.
Well,
and they get really angry when you call somebody.
We watch all those shows too.
Well, the short order cook. When you call a short order cook a chef, they get really angry with that.
Yes, well, only the chefs get angry with that. The short order cooks love it. Brian Hirth is with us. How you doing, Brian?
Doing pretty good. How about you guys?
I think
pretty good, man.
We're doing great. We're doing great. Bill successfully invited another Brian on the show who spells the name properly.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, and we are here doing our thing on another Tuesday. Did you miss me last week, Bill? No.
I did. No, I did. I flubbed the intro. Did all right in the middle, I think. Then Chelsea came on, and she did awesome. Then I flubbed the end. But
only because I sent it to you like while you were actually hitting record or play.
Record.
Yeah. So you had no time to practice.
No, I didn't. But it's okay because, a professional just goes through it, and we forget about what we did 10 minutes ago, just like racing.
Exactly.
You just forget what the last corner was like because it doesn't matter.
Got to have a very short memory.
Yep. Brian, you're not really a racer, but you are a racer because you have raced. But you go to the races, and you do other things. So how'd you get into this?
7 years ago. I was out in Phoenix working. We were stuck at a customer site, bought a bunch of car magazines, and read about 24 Hours of Lemons. So I found a team from Pittsburgh, and I went to NCM for my very first race.
Okay.
And I offered my services to cook them dinner. And they took me to the race for free, and I cooked. Proved for the team. And shortly thereafter, ChampCar came to Pittsburgh.
That's right. Went to Beaver Run at the time.
Yep.
So what year was that?
I started in 17.
Oh, okay. So it was way later.
It was the last year that it was ChampCar here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but it was called Pittsburgh International Raceway because I think I was at that race. No, I was either at the race working 16. No, 16 was the last time I raced there. So,
the 17 was Mike Chiswick's 200th race.
Yes, that's right. So I was working that race. I wasn't racing it. So, but yeah, that was fun. So you did a big cookout for Chiswick, the big party, and that was fun. I was just actually looking at pictures of that today. Completely forgot about that. Big to do, and ever since then you've been putting on a big spread, potluck. Food supplied by everybody. You do some great food, by the way. At Pittsburgh, and you've done it at other races too.
Yeah, at Pittsburgh, we've done a whole pig.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm a pescatarian with a pig problem.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
It means I don't eat much other than fish and pork. And
okay.
And when I do eat pork, it's very infrequent. But I just can't stop with barbecue and bacon. I mean, it's like my nose goes right to it. That's good stuff. Good stuff. So a whole hog.
Yes, sir.
That's a good 16-hour day, right?
We did 20.
You did 20. Okay. We're gonna have to talk
at 9 p.m. and finished up at about 6.
We're gonna have to do like a new podcast, Bill, Inside Smoking. and out here in California, that could mean a lot of different things.
Yeah. What's funny is my best buddy growing up, Chris Runyon. He's a big smoker. He has a big barbecue smoker. Does all kinds of food, always posting it up, pictures of it, like those, like the girls do, taking pictures.
Instagram.
So Instagram. So he's always posting up pictures of his stuff. I don't even think he listens to my shows, but he's out there.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris. But yeah, it's supposed to be really good. For probably 20 years, he's been trying to get me to, whenever I come out there to do barbecue, just never get, I'm always too busy.
Where is he at?
Yeah. Up in Ramona.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And not far from you, but far from you. Yeah.
So Brian, do you have to cook well to keep getting asked back, or as long as you just deliver hot food, will they let you come back?
Yeah, a lot of teams end up with microwave and hot pocket.
Right.
So anything they're willing to take you.
Actually, that's pretty luxurious. I bought one of those panini makers at the dollar store, and that's how we cook up our hot dogs. It worked pretty well.
Why does that not surprise me, Bill?
Yeah, no, it worked. And you put the bun on it, get that toasted or whatever, Yeah, good times. But yeah, having actually, real food, and let me tell you, as a team owner, you bring, my family didn't get involved with racing like a lot of other folks did. My son did, but my wife just wanted nothing to do with it. My daughter just went to look at some of the boys, but that was about it. But every now and then we get one of my driver's wives would show up and she'd do something up or something. But it was always nice to have good food at the track, because as a team owner, you're buried into getting the car prepped and fixed from the day's racing, figuring out the problems the guys had. Guys are just torquing bolts down too hard on your car and you've got to go back in and fix it. You're busy doing that stuff. So having somebody at the track that's dedicated to not only, fire bottle and helping you fix a car during the race, but has prepped food for you afterwards is invaluable. It's one of the best things.
I think that's why I don't have too much trouble finding a team. Even when my normal team decides to quit.
Yeah.
Right.
So Brian, do you do anything else at the track besides the chefing, like during pit stops?
I crew for my whatever team I'm with. So
Okay.
I'll do fuel and I'll wrench on the car.
Got it. So you are multifaceted.
Yeah.
What do you do in real life?
I'm an electrical engineer.
So
wait,
an actual engineer?
Too. Yeah. I
Okay.
design I design machines that are used to test gyroscopes and accelerometers for like navigation.
The gyroscopes, like things you pull the string and it's...
Yeah.
See what I have to deal with, Brian? So
I am not an engineer.
So Bill,
I was a telecom engineer in England, only because that's what they called us.
Right.
I wasn't actually an engineer.
Oh, well, that's close. It's close.
Yeah.
So
and I had a train set once.
so Bill, he's smarter than us.
Oh, yeah.
He cooks better than us.
Yeah.
He's got a better beard than us. He's got a better hat than us.
Yeah.
I think you and I should just buzz out and let him finish the show.
He's got a mane of hair, too, by the way.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
That's why he's got to wear the hat.
Yeah.
So,
I bet he's a Browns. Is he a Browns fan?
No.
Oh, good. Although this would be the weekend to be a Browns fan if you were one. So.
Not a Bills fan.
No.
All of our teams lost this week. So
yeah.
So Brian, my mom was the chef on our team, and she would the 3 or 4 days, maybe 2 days before we'd go to the track, she would make fried chicken, and we would eat cold chicken. And I don't know how she did it, but no matter how many people showed up, no matter how many people ate throughout the weekend, on Sunday, there was still chicken. So I don't know how much she was making, but it had to have been a ginormous amount. And she'd make this homemade potato salad, and then I would do what I called racetrack skillet for breakfasts. And it was scrambled eggs, cheese, sausage, and hash browns, all in one iron skillet.
That's Sunday morning.
And I would make as much
Sunday
of that.
morning every race.
All right, you and I are friends. We're good. Yeah, good stuff.
Saturday is always waffles for breakfast.
Oh, nice. That's a twist. I wasn't expecting the waffle twist.
Like Legos or Egos or whatever they're called.
No, I have a 2-sided waffle iron. We make them fresh.
Make them
So
real.
it's like Waffle House,
but
on
better.
the road.
That's what you're getting on Saturday, Bill.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I like that.
That's good.
Wait. Somebody wants to know if you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. John Wittenauer. All right.
Yeah.
Beware the penguin. Remember
Okay,
that?
I guess we're not friends anymore. That turned so fast.
I like Pittsburgh Dad. You ever watch Pittsburgh Dad on the internet? Yins? Yeah. Like that. Old times.
We have our own language here in Pittsburgh.
You do.
Yes. Up on the hill above Pittsburgh, there is a Polish restaurant, which name I can never remember. But apparently it's it's iconic.
Yeah,
and
been there. It's pretty good.
I was in Pittsburgh for business once, and my friends dragged me up there. And definitely pierogies that I would go back for. So I'll have to look up the name of that place.
I don't know what that restaurant would be.
Yeah.
The only one I know that we get pierogies at is the Church Brew Works.
Oh.
An old church turned into a brewery.
Oh, I like that. I'll have to check that out next time in Pittsburgh. So how many races have you been to, Brian?
Just about 20.
Okay. All
Give
right.
or take.
Nice.
How many have you raced?
1.
Tell me about that. But don't get into too much detail.
2 years ago, the team that I'd been with for about 5 years decided that they wanted to give me a gift. So all the drivers shorted themselves on Sunday, and they put me in the car to take the last 30 minutes in the checkered flag.
That's too cool. So what did you think? I mean, it was a Lemons race. You know, you've got to, that was at Loudon, right?
Yeah, up at Loudon, yeah.
So had you ever been around that track?
Nope. Just on Friday during test and tune, because it was just me and the car owner that showed up on Friday.
Okay, so you got to go around.
I put like 3 hours in the car on Friday, just going round and round and round.
Yeah.
So did you guys do the outer road course where you go outside?
Yeah. They put a chicane on the back, and you go out down through the bowl, back onto the track, and then you do the loop. But they put chicanes at both ends, so we don't get the oval.
No, and they did that with us too. We kept screaming for the oval, but they wouldn't do it. Smart men.
No,
that Loudon was the only place that I've ever hit a boat.
I still don't understand how that's even possible.
Well, in Lemons, you see a lot of things. And,
in Lemons.
At the race I was at, Speedy Cop, and there's a lot of folks out there know who Speedy Cop is. So Speedy Cop is there, and he's got all kinds of nifty cars. He's got an upside-down car, an airplane car, and all this stuff. But this was in the early days of Speedy Cop. So he had a car with a pop-up tent on it. The type you pull behind your car. It's got the netting all around it, He was racing one of those. And there was a guy there with a wooden boat. And they were, I forget what kind. You said it was an S10 or something?
It was an S10 chassis.
Yeah. And I hit it, and I remember this clear as day, coming out of 3, or coming out of NASCAR 2. And I think they had they had a chicane or something. We weren't in the corners.
Both ends.
At ends. Yeah. We're coming out of there, and I thought I would try to get a better line around them on the outside left of their car. And then I'd be able to kind of get around them and then dive in and get the turn to the outer course, get a better line on there. Yeah. Yeah, I failed. Failed miserably. And I ended up hitting the boat, spinning them around, spun me around, and we continued on. And then I got black flagged. And, in Lemons, when you get black flagged, it's bad.
Well, the first one's more like, naughty you, go race.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. Yeah, and that kind of what happened. But in the early days, we used to get, you'd have to get duct tape to your cars. And I remember did we do that at New Jersey Motorsports Park? They made us run all around, and Johnny got all mad. Johnny Lieberman got all mad at the guy that made us do that, because we were all a bunch of old, out of shape guys running around a parking lot. It's probably not the brightest thing to do, But yeah, it was fun. But yeah, that was a crazy place. They had so many different vehicles. I remember one of the cars that showed up at Loudon, Turner. It was an ex-Turner E30 or some sort of race car, because I saw it advertised, and somebody took a ball peen hammer to it.
Oh gosh!
And
made it less fancy.
Yes,
that was Arrow.
And I'm like, and it was still painted up in the Turner colors. It's like, well, that didn't really help.
That's just adding Arrow, like a golf ball.
Yeah, like a golf ball.
You know?
Yeah, we all laughed at that. It's like, really? That thing sounds like a race car. It was like zing, zing.
So, all right, we've covered breakfast. What's the dinner specialties?
Well, this coming race, Friday is going to be meatloaf and roasted vegetables.
Ooh,
and
meatloaf.
Saturday for the potluck is pizza.
Sweet.
Okay. Do you?
And you're bringing like a big brick oven pizza maker, right?
Nuni pizza oven, yeah. But we're going to have 27 pizzas for dinner.
Yeah, cool. They're not going to be. It's not going to have fire and stuff, is it?
Fire on the inside, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering where we put the gas cans.
Nowhere near the pizza oven if we're smart.
Yeah.
So which team are you working with this weekend?
I'm actually going to be staffing with the ChampCar guys.
Oh.
Yep. You're working on pit lane.
So I'm cooking for them.
Yep.
Nice. Yep. Bill, is this part of our contract for me to come to pit race this weekend?
Get on your bike now, buddy.
Actually, if I go away another weekend, I may have to move in with you, Bill.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. My wife said, "You're home?"
Exactly. Exactly. So.
Yeah, my normal
Brian,
team decided they weren't coming, so I looked for something else and decided I'd volunteer with Champ and do pit road and whatnot.
So the race isn't this weekend because we don't have anything going on this weekend.
No,
then we head out.
September 30.
Then we head out to Harris Hill. We come back home for a couple of days, and then we head up to Pittsburgh.
Okay, so this is middle September.
Yeah.
I should know that because I put the ticker together tonight.
It's the end of September, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. 'Cause I do pit, and then I think I go to out west. Let me look. Pit. Yep, pit. I head out west after that to Phoenix, and then
all right,
come back for Road America. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
My one couple of days of vacation with the wife, so we're gonna go out and visit the new grandchild.
So Brian,
you don't have any grandkids yet, do you? You're not old enough to have grandkids. You just have teenage kids.
My oldest is 21.
Yeah.
So he's old enough to have grandkids.
No,
well, you don't kind of want. That's in the South, buddy. That's in the South.
Oh, I don't know. I grew up in the North, and that stuff happened there too.
Long winters.
That's right. Nothing else to do in Wisconsin in January.
Yeah.
Anyway. So what do you enjoy about going to the races and hanging out with the ChampCar crew and the driver and all that kind of stuff?
Getting to play with cars.
Yeah.
I mean, I try here at home, but I don't get home till 8:30.
Right.
9 o'clock at night, so I don't get to do a lot here. So
sure,
it's a fun escape.
Yeah.
Do your kids grow tired of all the home cooked food?
No. Actually, most nights my wife cooks dinner because I'm not home till late.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Cool stuff.
Well, they're saying members like Brian make ChampCar so special for all of us, and thank you, Brian, for what you do, and it
thank
makes
you
it
guys
fun.
for having me.
Yeah, and it's oh, we're not done with you yet, buddy. We still got minutes to go.
Bill has a different line of questioning. It sounds like.
I don't know. So you're doing pizza, meatloaf, love meatloaf. Now, so we have on our forum, forum.champcar.org, we have a list started of things that people can bring to the potluck. So what makes this so good is that people from all over bring all kinds of different foods.
Nice.
And and it pretty awesome. And we have a few hundred people we feed there. So what do you think people should bring to this?
Whatever they like to eat. I mean, you bring your favorite food and then you share it with everybody else.
There you go.
But we have to sign up just to make sure we don't end up with 14 macaroni and cheese salads. Right?
Because you will. Yeah.
What's wrong with 14 macaroni and cheese salads?
I know. There's different ones. Everybody brought a pound cake.
Well, does that mean that everybody's going to be overweight on Sunday?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. So remember, ChampCar doesn't have minimum weights.
Oh, okay.
That's the only way the Opel GT will win anything. Keep adding those pounds on, buddy.
So
where's your
wait till the Festiva shows up.
Oh, yeah. I love the Festiva. So what is the dream place for you to go to cook?
I'd love to go out to Laguna Seca. I mean, but the chances to get there are not great.
You never know.
But also take about 4 days to get all the cooking equipment there.
Yeah, that's the hard part. We did the trip one weekend. We left on like Tuesday. Actually, Mike and I drove straight through. I left Virginia to go to Ohio. He was Dayton, Ohio. Picked up Mike Helm. And then we drove from there. We went south because there was supposed to be snow over the Rockies. So we went south through L.A. It was a river. We went through Riverside when that terrorist shooting went on in Riverside.
Okay.
So everything was like blocked off. And we finally got through and then drove up to Laguna Seca. Got there way too early. And camped, set up and everything, raced, and then left and pretty much drove straight through the northern route. So it was pretty good. Fun time. It's not bad, but like you said, it's 4 to 6 days of travel and having fun.
You got to like the guy you're traveling with.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. And when you wake up and you're in the middle
when I go, it's just me.
Well, and it is fun doing it as a group though, because for the most part,
yeah,
you're hosing each other off at the car washes too. That's always fun.
You have an odd way to enjoy yourself, Bill. Remind me not to travel with Bill.
Well, sometimes,
Yeah, sometimes. So do you pack up all your stuff in a pickup truck or a van to bring all the grills and food cooking devices?
When he said Festiva, he meant it.
Just in the back of the pickup truck. If I'm bringing the smoker or the bar, I got to bring a trailer.
Okay.
Oh, so you don't pack it in the Festiva then?
No. That would be fun, though.
You could convert that to a smoker. Just open it up at the back.
Yeah, just build a firewall behind the driver and passenger seat, and just try to keep the flame away from the fuel tank.
What?
that could be fun in a weird way. So that's pretty awesome. Where do we see you after pit race? I know you said you do go to some other tracks on occasion.
Yeah, I'll be Loudon, New Hampshire over Halloween.
Okay.
And after that, nothing till April.
All right.
Well, maybe we got Road America. Could swing by there with the Ram. We'll see.
Yeah. If you go to Wisconsin, you got to make bratwurst.
Yummy.
Bratwurst, huh?
Yeah, that's our.
Do they eat bratwurst in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
That was all wings.
Boiled and beer.
That's Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo. What is the food? What is the food of Pittsburgh?
Permane Brothers.
Which is?
The pierogies, but also Permane Brothers, which is a big, thick sandwich that has fries, tomatoes, and coleslaw on the sandwich.
Just that, or is there other stuff?
No. it's only about, this big.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Oh, boy.
And then the guys are like, come on down to NCM in March.
Yeah.
National Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be able to get
That was my first race track.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Have beer and pierogies up here too, Tim says. Fred Wolf, Brian, what's the jumbo in the Berg?
What?
What's jumbo in the Berg?
Oh, I don't know.
That's Fred.
Not
Fred
me.
Wolf from Nelson Ledges. All right, Brian, thanks a lot for joining us. And, like I said, go to forum.champcar.org to sign up for the potluck if you're going to the Pittsburgh race here in a couple of weeks. And we'd love to see you guys there. And sign up for some for the party.
Should be a good time. Good time. All right,
Yep.
We'll be right back. We got some other news to catch up on. A book was released today. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more next on Inside ChampCar. Stay with us.
Thanks, Brian.
ChampCar is an endurance road racing grassroots motorsports series. The idea of ChampCar is you can get a bunch of buddies together and on a budget go to these premier racetracks all over the United States and up into Canada and get maximum track time.
Josh here, Wasting Money Racing. The things that really draw us to ChampCar that we love is that the series is a little bit more serious than the other entry-level endurance racing series. And the series as a whole is like a big family, and everybody is always willing to help each other in any dire situation that you may have.
The rulebook is intentionally kept small to make it simple for everybody to go racing, and yet control costs for the competitors. For sure, one of the most exciting things for me with ChampCar was that I get to race on all these amazing racetracks, and it's super easy. No licensing, no special qualifications. All you need is your driver's license, your gear, your membership. Rent yourself some seat time, and you can go racing this weekend.
I enjoy racing with ChampCar because I think they provide the closest competition in all the amateur endurance series, and because they race at bucket list tracks.
Hi, this is Rick Brazar from Savannah, Georgia, RPM Auto Works Racing and Apex Predators Racing Team. What I like about ChampCar Endurance Series is the opportunity it gives an old guy like myself to get back into some competitive door-to-door racing with a modest budget. You can put together a really nice car for not a lot of money, and it's a lot of fun to go out there and mix it up with some top-notch drivers. I enjoy the camaraderie, I enjoy the friendship, and I enjoy the program that ChampCar Endurance Series has put together.
Welcome back to Inside ChampCar. Brian Bielanski here. Bill Strong is doing his thing here. Bill, I'm going to put you up here and let you talk for a minute while I do something that I should have done while you and I were chatting. So,
And what's that?
Fix the boxes.
Oh.
we're just...
Hey, so just to let you guys know, hey, just a little bit ago, I'm the guy that puts the links up, but the board of directors has released the 2024 BCCR, which is the rule book for ChampCar for 2024. And I want to stress over and over and over again that this is for 2024 and does not go into effect until January 1st of 2024, like midnight, like time, not now. It's not the rules now. Don't build your car right now to race next week with this rule book.
Well,
you
can.
laugh, Brian,
No,
because...
Oh, no. I know, because we've had this discussion.
Yeah.
We've had this discussion before.
You know, and then I forgot to put up the VPI list, and somebody said, hey, ChampCar's not even following their own rules, 4.2.4. And I'm like, oh, the hell does 4.2.4 mean? I went through it. It's like, oh, we were supposed to release a VPI at the same time, VPI list. So I did that 20 minutes later, maybe an hour later. I'm going to say 10 minutes later. And it's up. The VPIs for next year.
Okay.
And again, those do not go into effect until January 1, 2024. They will be, we will upload them to the configurator so that you can go through and check them out and do your stuff.
Right.
But for now, we have it as a viewable Google Docs, so you can look and see where your cars fits in, if it's changed any. If not, you're good to go. I know a lot of people are already complaining about some of the supercars not being changed, or super ETA. I don't know what the hell that is. Some sort of BMW is not changed, I guess. I don't know. But again, there were recommendations made by the members.
Right.
That's then put up to the board of directors. The TAC and the board of directors, and everybody looks at it and they look to see how it will affect the company as a whole. It will affect racing. What you think may be a good thing may not be a good thing in the end with really good drivers, because we know you're really good drivers.
Right.
But when you put really good drivers in, how will that car do? Or, when you start swapping stuff into it, what will it do? So I know that.
So you're not gauging potential changes on a guy with my kind of talent,
or mine.
Okay.
So no.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So, we thought we were badass drivers, and we were okay. I've got trophies, but I had good drivers.
Yeah.
Until we put Randy Popes in the car. It's like, holy shit, man, we suck. It was. Yeah, I was like, damn, he's fast.
Mark Kruger's trolling us, by the way. He's like, so it takes effect now, right? I'm like, no, it does not, Mark.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. Kruger tune. They're always looking for that advantage. Yes, Mark, show up with that.
Well, you can make all the changes now. It's just going to be Boku points.
Yeah.
Just going to have to add a crap ton of points.
They lowered the VW Rabbit down to like 10 points.
Nice. That's for you, Timothy.
Just kidding. Just kidding. All these guys like quickly looking at Craigslist for VW Rabbit.
Flipping through the scrolling, scrolling the VPI. Where is it?
So yeah, that's happened. So yeah, the rules, VPI, it looks like we may be doing a little sale here on some stuff. We'll have more info about that next week.
You said you weren't going to talk about this, Bill.
No, I'm not going to talk about it. We'll just give you a little teaser.
All right.
But yeah, we're going to do something.
And some congratulations are in order, I think, or maybe not.
I thought it was really cool, but then I had to start working.
Yeah. You are the new ChampCar Director of Operations or Operations Manager?
Director of Operations.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And
Chelsea's throwing all kinds of stuff at me.
Yeah. So basically, is she offloading all the stuff that she used to do to you
which
now?
she should do anyway.
Yeah.
She should do that anyway. Yeah. She's got a lot to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just normal. Just make sure everything gets to the racetrack that needs to go to the racetrack. Make sure everything's done beforehand that needs to be done. Electronic stuff, and make sure Jimmy is our other full-time employee, so just assign him to do some stuff, and simple stuff, nothing big. And I still have to, stupid marketing guy, I have to yell and scream at him constantly to do stuff. So
I'm gonna share a pro tip with you.
Mm-hmm.
Spreadsheets are your friend.
Oh yeah, I have tons of those.
Checklists are your friend.
Yeah, checklists.
And my guess is that is as buttoned up as Chelsea is, that she probably had those all ready, and she's just going to give them to you, and you just got to do the work.
Yes.
So awesome.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. No, it's pretty cool. Her and I talk daily. When I say daily, about 24 hours in a day we talk.
I'm so sorry
for
her.
It's been a pretty damn busy.
I bet.
Couple of weeks. This turnover hasn't been as easy as we thought it would be. So getting everything straight and focused and in line we're getting there. We're slowly getting there, but a lot of work to do.
Hillar's
and it came.
Got you.
It,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. What?
I was going to say.
No, it just came at a time when it was really busy, and we had a lot of races going on.
Hillar's got you figured out. Bill doesn't need money. Job satisfaction is enough.
Yes, it is.
If I knew how many times a manager or a boss came to me and said, "I got all this extra work, and you're going to be so proud when it's done," I mean, like all those sponsorship things I get you. Hey, we can make something of you.
Yeah. We'd like to trade you for this because we can give you a lot of those.
Let me just say, I've learned to give those managers a particular digit, and it might not be these two.
Yeah. So. One day they may pay me fairly. But.
Oh, come on now. But in all fairness, you do get to play with cars.
I do.
And you get paid to go to a racetrack.
Yeah, and
so there are worse problems in this world to have.
And watching, actually, it's just participating. I mean, this is probably one of the best jobs I've ever had. I've had some really good jobs over the years.
Yeah,
but this one is up there, and being able to go to a racetrack, hang out with people at a racetrack that are just awesome.
Yep.
Everybody from the little guy that's just showing up for the first time to the ex-Formula One guys,
Yeah.
you know, that just blows me away that I can be in the same place as all these guys, and they're having the time of their life, and just having a good time.
Yeah.
Now, this weekend,
yes,
we tried something new.
Uh-oh.
So you know how the internet talks, you know, ChampCar, it's a crash fest.
Yeah.
All they do, you know, the end of the race, they're just a wadded up bunch of junk.
Did they watch this week's IndyCar race? Because those are supposedly professionals.
I saw pictures at Laguna, right?
Oh, my
They were at
gosh.
Laguna?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we know better. We keep a log now.
Yeah.
And we had a guy, I might have told the story. We had a guy saying that, ChampCar's a crash fest, blah, blah, blah. I was at such and such a race. And
yeah.
I said, really? So I went to the log and I looked and I said, nope, never reported. Not, we had one or two incidents and that was it. And wasn't what he said. So I don't want to say it shut him up quick, but it was like, there's no argument. It's not like that. But we still get it. We still get the side-by-sides and the nose-to-tails.
Sure.
And
it is racing.
And it is, but it's a little different when you've got a team owner with mega bucks or with lots of sponsors, big, colorful sponsors on the side of the car. But then you have, a guy like me that, paints his car up himself, puts all the stickers on it, hand cuts all the stickers out and sticks them on the car himself and does all the wrenching himself, tows the car there himself on a open trailer or a small, 65-foot enclosed motorhome trailer, that doesn't really cost all that much. I'm kidding. But just the little guy.
Yeah.
And he can show up and participate too, and go home with his car unscathed and just put new bits on it for the week, new brake pads and tires, and go racing again.
Yeah.
Without having to bang out fenders and doors and stuff. So what Chelsea's done is we're still working out the details. And of course, this is all done during the race because that's the best way to work out details.
Sure.
To see what works and what doesn't. And it seemed to work okay. We kind of had a small mistake on Sunday, but Saturday it worked.
All right.
Instead of calling black flags on guys,
yeah,
we would annotate in the logs, you got a black flag, and we're deducting 1 lap from your race. You're penalized a lap.
Okay.
We're touching somebody. And she would tell people this during the driver's meeting. And if you have video to prove otherwise, bring it on up. We'll take a look at it. And that happened a couple of times. We had one that, because when we're up in the tower, and I say we because I'm up there most of the time because that's usually have AC up there and nice, comfy chairs and coffee and wine. But they, we're up there.
Yeah.
Kidding about the wine. But we hear what the corner workers say.
Right.
And they see something, they hear stuff.
Right.
And then they have to send that up to us. We then, the flag controller and Chelsea have to decide what to do on that. So you can only make decisions on secondhand information. So that's what we do. I write it all down exactly like I hear it from the corner workers. And then I write down the decision made by the race director and we go from there. And she decided 1 lap penalty and it worked. It shut down the contact pretty quick.
So what's really interesting about that, oops, wrong button. What's really interesting about that is it's almost more fair to do it that way. Because when it's an exact lap, as opposed to coming in, sitting for a lap, and going back out, then it's all of that. When you just tack on a lap and someone comes in and says, no, wait a second, I didn't do whatever it was you do, and I have proof, then you can just take the lap back.
Yes.
And you have done nothing other. You effectively haven't given that person. It's like almost the most perfect reversible penalty.
Right.
You know,
and because there's some tracks we go to, even like this weekend, we screwed up and we black flagged somebody, brought them in, added a lap to them, and talked to them.
right,
And come to find out it wasn't their fault. And
right,
because we kind of went, and this was on Sunday, we kind of went back. I think this happened twice.
right,
And so we had to figure out what the heck we were going to do because this affected the guy's race.
right.
And so we gave him his lap back, and then we had them do a 1 minute less pit stop. So for their
Okay.
pit stop, instead of doing a 5 minute stop, we gave them a 4 minute stop, and they were able to do that.
Right.
So I mean, I think
Which
this happened
is-
twice.
Which
so
is still not an exact science.
no.
It's kind of still
you-
a guesstimation.
Yes.
Whereas when you do it the way you've described it, where you just don't bring them in and tack on a lap, if in fact it turns out that you have to fix it,
Yeah.
you can legit fix it, and really it then becomes no harm, no foul.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah. And Mark Kruger asked, was there any conversation with the guilty party? And yeah, we do talk to them both. We do, most of the incidents were, you had a guilty party and not a guilty party. That was pretty
Right.
plain.
Right.
Now we did have another one where 2 were penalized,
Right.
and one person brought in a video.
Sure.
It showed us X. Another guy brought in video, and it showed us Y. And I was able to, Chelsea did all their video reviews.
Right.
And then she called me over for this one.
Right.
And she goes, what do you think of this? And the guy started to give this big explanation. I'm like, no, I want to see the video without any.
Without the play-by-play.
Yes, without. I just want to see the video.
Right.
I sit and watch in-car videos every day. I mean,
Yeah.
it's what my job is.
Sure.
So I do this stuff, and I watch the video, and it looks innocent enough until he dive bombs the guy.
Right.
But he says the guy moved over on me. I said, yeah, it was a turn. So it.
Of course
it was
he did.
one of these.
It's-
And what's funny was, and I didn't say this,
Right.
but it's the exact same thing I did at Sebring, where I
Right.
wrecked Doc's car into the RX-7. I got tired of the guy just all over the road, and I saw an opening, and I took it. Well, when I got to the place that was open,
It wasn't open no more.
it wasn't open.
Who of
So-
us has never done that?
Yeah, and it was the exact same thing.
Right.
So, I know I've been there, and I know the frustration you get when I saw that opening and it just wasn't there when I got there.
Oh.
And you try to explain to the guys that, hey, just wait.
Yeah.
Get them on the straight, or get them on the next corner where you have a little more room, or just attack it a little differently. Don't, but it happens.
Yeah.
Just take it. So.
Timothy's trolling me with the vortex of danger. He knows he knows how I feel about the vortex of danger. Timothy, you're poking a bear, big guy.
But yeah, we denied his appeal,
Right.
and he kept his 1 minute
Right.
thingy. So
I just like the idea that it's a penalty that you can legitimately reverse.
right,
Because we don't always make it right. I've worked
No.
I've worked as a flag chief. I've worked in race control and been part of those discussions. And there's a human element involved. And just like in baseball, or any sport that's officiated by human beings, humans are imperfect. Except for me. But other than me, humans are imperfect. That's sarcasm, by the way.
and I know, and we had incidences where a car and 2 were reported as contact side by side, but
Yeah.
when they came into
Sure.
pit lane, we saw nothing on the cars, no evidence of any touching, and I know for a fact you can lean on somebody and not come out with any damage or any scrapes or anything like that if you do it right. Takes a lot of testing. Just kidding. But the teams complain we never touched, but then when they brought in video, now ChampCar does not require video,
Right.
at all. But let me tell you, if you get penalized, having that video kind of works out, can help you. It can also hurt.
It can also hurt you. Yeah. My favorite is when the guy thinks that he's got the video evidence, and he marches up to race control without ever looking at the video evidence.
Oh yes.
And then you hit play, and he's sitting there over the shoulder as you're watching the video evidence, and you see it happen, and then you look up at the guy, and he asks for his video back, and he turns around and walks out the door.
Yeah. So they just go. You just see his face like, "I've got this. I'm gonna beat you."
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
I've
the
seen
all the steam just comes right out.
I cannot tell you how many times I've seen that happen. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You say, "Can I see that again?"
Would you like to
Oh my
watch it
God,
one more
it's so
time,
funny.
sir? No, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you
But
sure?
can I have a copy of that so I can use it as a learning lesson,
Exactly.
or make money on YouTube?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we played with that, and that seemed to work. We got it. It needs a little more fine tuning because
Sure.
it's one of those things like you really sometimes bringing the driver in is good because especially with new guys racing,
Right.
it's one of those learning lessons.
Right.
Maybe you shouldn't have done that type thing. But
Well,
then
So I think
you don't.
there's two ways to do that. I think if there's a black flag, the driver should always, when they come off of their stint, come up and have a chat. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But if it's something that's really egregious, or if it's like the second or third time something has happened, then you bring them in and have the chat right there and then, because you can then escalate the penalty.
Yes, and that's something that we've done is like almost all the teams have some sort of radio communications with the guys,
Right.
or with the driver. So we can say we will go to the team and say, hey, your guy just had side to side contact. We've demoted you a lap. You might want to talk to him and either get him out of the car if he's not doing things right, or tell him to back off a bit. And that seemed to work pretty good. But let me tell you, Sunday, different game. It's like these guys slept overnight thinking about how they could go fast and in your dreams, those corners, you can do those those 2-wheel turns.
Right, but is this what happens on Sunday? You get through Saturday, the car's in one piece. You get to Sunday, and you might have a week or a month or 2 months until the next race. So you don't have to take as good a care of the equipment on Sunday as you did on Saturday, right?
As a car owner, I would say no.
Right, of course. But you know the mindset. When the red
think
mist
about
hits
it.
you.
When you're racing,
Right.
you're in, the
red
as the
mist.
chef tells me, the red mist gets stronger on Sunday.
Exactly.
But when you go out for the first time on the track, you come in, you're out.
Right.
Your mind is going over your laps, where I could have done better, and you go out and you're always a little quicker. Now, overnight, you're sleeping, you're reviewing in your head, what can I do? And you get out there Sunday morning, I'm going to do an send a lap around this thing over and over again for 2 hours.
Right.
And of course, first time you do, you overshoot it, go off into the woods, but that's what happened.
Yep.
And I tried to explain that to Chelsea. It's like, she's like, 'cause she was pulling her hair out,
Right.
And she's like, what is wrong with these guys? Why, yesterday they were so good. And I'm like, this is what happens. We as guys will, and I don't know if girls do this because I'm not a girl. I identify as a guy. So I don't know. But if you sleep on it overnight, I'm thinking, how can I do this faster? How can I get a better lap? How can I, do this stuff? And I start taking chances because, I'm Superman.
Right.
And boom, it doesn't work.
And
So,
you don't,
and it happens to a lot of guys.
and you've got a week before the next race.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to fix the car.
Exactly. So
In there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. And
Cool.
and Sunday, and I only had to talk her off the ledge a couple of times because it was pretty crazy at a couple of times. We had to red flag the race. We had a car lose a wheel.
Ooh.
A BMW lose a wheel. They had crashed it during practice.
You picked a fine time to leave me loose wheel.
And they had a left rear wheel come off the car.
Right.
And during Sunday's race, and come to a stop at pit in. And they went a long way without a wheel.
Right,
but
right.
They finally came to a stop at pit in. And we we get the field under code 35.
Right.
And I look over, and she's not happy with drivers kind of going around the incident. And we had feet on the ground, and it just wasn't good. And I just looked over at her, and I go, red flag. And then, because there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
We've got to slow down all the cars, and you have to, we work as a team.
Yeah.
And so good idea. Red flag it, get everybody under control. We can get the incident out without getting any corner workers hurt, and boom, done.
Yeah. The best kind of race control is one where anybody in race control can make a suggestion.
Yeah.
And
I told her, I said, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you information that I'm seeing on Flagtronics,
right,
that we're seeing on the track or whatever.
Right.
And it's your job to either take it in or ignore it, right, or whatever. But we're going to tell you, because it could be important, and it works.
You got to have a benevolent overlord and some
Yep.
good advisors.
Yep.
So very cool.
And Andy was up there too, and Andy's ran races. So
yeah,
actually having the two race directors, it was a pretty good team this weekend. So
yeah,
Andy was doing timing and scoring, and I was sitting at the other end next to the flag controller.
Yeah. And
yeah, lots of good times up there, but we focused on the race and got them done.
Yeah.
Everybody's safe.
Love it.
Yep. And then I don't think, what else were we talking about doing?
You mean on the show?
Passing under yellows, same thing.
Oh, okay.
So, but I mean, if you, and somebody or Tim asked if they consistently doing it, yeah, we're going to bring them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no, you touch somebody the second time, you're coming in and
right,
you're getting out of the car.
Yep.
So there's no, there's no, oh, you did wrong, just don't do it again. Nope, get out of the car and then talk to us. And I think she made somebody come up to the tower to talk to her.
Yeah.
And at some tracks, that's a long way to go.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're going to be wore out by the time you get back to your pit lane. So, but yeah, it's we got it. We're gonna really work on that internet rumor mill about contact. So don't lean on people. That's all we ask. You can go racing. You can do this cleanly. Just don't lean.
Let's talk about the internet rumor mill for a minute. Now it's all right. It's time. The internet rumor mill is almost always wrong. It's like Yelp. Nobody goes to Yelp because they're happy. The only person who ever posts on Yelp is someone who's ticked off. And usually by the time they get to Yelp, it's like a game of telephone. What actually happened and what they say happened on Yelp is not the same thing. So, I take the internet rumor mill with a grain of salt. And I also think that most human beings do the same thing. So if you see something on the internet and it's making you think twice about going to race with any organization, whether it be ChampCar or Lemons or SCCA or Formula One, go check it out yourself. Figure out what's really happening. Talk to some people who are really doing it, because I think you're going to find, in most cases, that the internet rumor mill is, Uncle John who's pissed off because whatever happened. So sorry.
Is this a segue into the Honda Fit that won the national championship at Lincoln?
That's the kind of internet rumor mill I am all about.
So, for those that don't know, Brian was at the National Autocross Championship at Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yep, the 50th SCCA Solo Nationals, and I did not win. I had 4 goals. I had 4 goals to do really good podcasts. Check. To have a great time. Check.
Yep.
To learn a lot. Check. And to not finish last. Check-ish.
Yeah.
Check-ish. And the reason I say ish, I was in a heated battle. My Honda Fit was in a heated battle with a Crown Vic Interceptor for last place, for not being in last place. Now, if you ask yourself, what is a 4.6-liter V8 Crown Vic doing in a class with a Honda Fit, I asked myself that same question, and I'm going to get some answers about that. But these two guys were awesome. They were from.
But you beat them, right?
Well, no, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So, but what SCCA does is they have what they call a PAX index, right?
Yep.
And it's a formula that all the cars and all the classes have a factor, and then every time gets factored, gets multiplied by the factor to give you one time, so that the fastest car, the fastest shifter cart, can race against the slowest in H Street, which was my class, which is the slowest class, and you get a time that should be equal if you're really good in both of your classes. And I was not in last place in the PAX, so that's why I said check-ish.
Yeah. So you can see these up here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Those are my autocross plaques.
Yeah, trophies.
Trophies.
Yeah. And
they were at a pretty big level out in the Southwest, but they were in the 80s, which I find just really funny.
Yeah.
Because I got them on my wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to be somebody way back many, many moons ago. Actually, one of the guys I used to race with has run in ChampCar a couple times.
Yeah.
So we had spoken over the years.
Yeah, Mark was there.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, that's what he said. He talked to you.
We
that whole
chatted
family
for a bit.
races all over.
And and big on to the and it was a rain and you know, I could have protested the V8. But if I would have, it wouldn't have been for that. The car was painted with the stuff that you use for truck bed liners.
Oh yeah.
And that's aero. It's like the dimples on a golf ball.
Aero device.
It's an aero device. There's supposed to be no aero in street. So if I
you hitting 80 miles an hour in autocross? Come on, man.
No, I think my top speed was like 54.
Yeah.
But I am in a Honda Fit, so got to give me a little cut.
That is the top speed of a Honda Fit, right?
No, it's not. I was able to set the cruise on 90 going through Utah, coming home. So, and I still got 40 miles to the gallon at 90 miles per hour coming home, by the way. But anyway, had a great time, met some fantastic people, learned a lot. Plan is to go back next year either with a Fit with a little more stuff done to it, or I may try to talk myself into being a tire warmer for someone else and getting into a better car.
So that one right there was when I took the Southwest. Yeah, East. No, this was back in like 87, 86.
Oh, so this must have been an MR2.
Yeah, no, it was a Corolla GTS.
Oh, okay.
So prepared class. But you had to qualify, and I qualified to go to, was it Lincoln? Whatever the autocross nationals
I don't think
were.
there's ever been qualifications. I think you just got to go.
Yeah, you had to go. Well, they said you had
Maybe at one time there was.
Yeah. And I was supposed to go, but I was in the Air Force and I couldn't get out. I couldn't get enough leave to go. And I was in the Air Force. So we had no money.
Yeah.
So.
Well, next year you got to come and do them with me.
Actually, that sounds good. No, wait. Do you know my autocross story? Real quick.
No, I don't.
So Ray Frank.
Right.
You know,
I know Ray.
Guy.
Yeah.
And his son.
Yeah.
My son just gets his license, and so we're going to do an autocross in Richmond, Virginia. Yeah. And the Ballinger guys are all there, and so we go down there. We're gonna autocross Ian's Mazda 3. And I start walking out there, man. There's a lot of cones out here. I mean, there's a lot of cones.
Was it a pro solo?
No, it's just a solo.
Okay.
It's not a pro solo. I've done one pro solo.
Okay. What were all the cones?
They were just everywhere. I mean, and when I'm walking in, it's like, okay, I got this. I get in the car, turn 2, I am freaking lost. So much so that they had to put a red flag out.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what the worst part was?
What?
Ray Frank.
Uh-oh.
Ray Frank was doing a play-by-play of all the race.
Uh-oh.
And he was talking smack about me.
Of course he was.
They made me get a driver in the car.
A driver coach?
With me. Yes.
Nice.
And show me around.
Yep.
And at this point, my son's 2 seconds faster, maybe 3 seconds faster around the track. And I'm just like, this is just wrong. On my last run, they let me go on my own.
And you put one down.
I do it, and I just let her rip. I just basically closed my eyes and did it.
Oh, don't
just
say
instinct, that. And I won.
There you go.
By like 3/4 of a second.
Nice.
against him. I didn't win anything
Right.
else, but yeah, it was just it.
Yeah,
Because I've been road racing forever, and I want to say this was how old is he now? 22. So
yeah,
that was 5 years ago.
yeah.
And I have not been since. And I just got lost, man. That was the worst part. I'm out there. I think it was like turn 2. It's like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, unless so the cool part about Solo Nationals is
Yes, it was in Salina, Kansas. That's where
right,
it was.
Right.
Yeah.
So the best part about Solo Nationals is if you're not running the first day, the second day there's video up on YouTube of all the courses. So you could actually I ran. So what they do is they run half the people on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the other half the competition is on Thursday, Friday. I ran Thursday, Friday. So I had the benefit on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night of watching the course that I was going to go on, in addition to walking it. And that is a huge advantage to the folks who race later. And even with that, my first run on Friday, I DNF'd because I just missed one gate. And the problem is on the Fit, it's got this big A pillar that it's the size of a school bus.
And they sit way out there, don't they?
Right, yeah. And it's right where I needed to see to know where that gate was. And I just had to get it into my brain that there's a gate there that I'm not going to see, so I have to be able to do this without seeing it. So I lost my first run, and then my second run, I needed to put a banker in to make sure I got a time, so it was a little slower there. See, on the bottom row of my toolbox, it says screwdrivers and excuses. So it's labeled. It's literally labeled to screwdrivers and excuses. I got a bucket of them. So my second lap was a banker lap to make sure I got a run in. And then my third lap, I'm trying to beat this interceptor, and they've got like 3.5 seconds on me. And I'm like, I'm just going to throw a Hail Mary, going to go full send.
Yeah.
And I almost missed the same gate again. I had to come to a complete stop to not miss the gate. And when you come to the complete stop, that's the end of your run.
Just
I might as well just run over the gate.
Yeah.
But I had a great time.
Is it 5-second penalty?
It's 2 seconds per cone.
2 seconds. Yeah.
And if you miss a gate, it's a DNF.
Oh, yeah.
So, but the gate that I was going to hit was going to be 4 cones.
So I used to do, I want to say 10 to 15 autocrosses a season in Phoenix. I started, my first one ever was in 1985.
Yep. My
neighbor ran the Chrysler Proving Grounds, and he brought a bunch of experimental cars.
Yep.
And we went autocross. I had a Corolla GTS.
Yep.
And, scooting around on the street. And he said, you got to come to this rate, this autocross with me. I didn't know what autocross was.
Yeah.
I kind of remember the name of that from England, and I thought it was like some sort of parking lot thing where you did donuts.
In England, they might call it a gymkhana.
Gymkhana. But autocross is sort of, you go backwards and you sit there's, peel outs, and it's just skill.
Yeah.
Massive skill.
No backwards.
Nothing I can do.
On what we do.
No, you don't do that.
If you're going backwards, you have something wrong.
Right. And I went to my first one. My wife didn't have her driver's license at the time. So it was just me and her driving out there. And I did the 3 turn, the 3, and then I paid extra to have a guy show me how to do this stuff.
Sure.
I finished like mid-pack.
Yeah.
And then in stock class. But I don't think I was legal because I put different wheels on it. Some inky or some impy wheel, something like that. And so I had some big wheels on it, some bigger tires. So, but they let me run. And then I did I think it was like $4 at the time. It was like $4 for a run.
Sure.
Maybe $2 for a run. It was cheap. Yeah. So I did as many runs as I could till I got tired of me being out there. I had a hard time driving home, man, because I was so wore out.
Yeah.
Just from the
I gotta tell you, for folks who are either trying to get started and doing something with cars,
that's the cheapest,
or don't have a ton of money to go racing or buy a race car, unless you're driving a minivan or something tall, there's a place for pretty much every car that's out there to come out and go into what we call street. It's not stock anymore. We now call it street. Just because it sounds hipper, or I guess, or something. But usually your local events are somewhere between $40 and $70 for the day, and it's just a good time, and it's all car people, so it's all the same people that you see at the racetrack, not the same people, but the same type of people, and it's just a ton of fun, and it's the speeds are slow enough where You really shouldn't hurt yourself.
Right.
That's not to say you can't do something a little junky to
Oh,
your car.
I've seen some crazy stuff,
but that's
yeah,
because people are being, stupid.
Yeah.
John
and it's
Whitnauer
actually more fun to take a slow car to do that.
Oh, yeah, because you learn a lot more.
Yeah.
You absolutely learn a lot more. So John Whitnauer, slippery slope, autocross, track day. Next thing you know, you have a ChampCar team.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's the gateway drug. It is absolutely a gateway drug. So,
but you know what? Some of the best drivers that I've had on my team were autocrossers.
Yep.
I mean, really good at autocross.
So
they remember things.
Do you know who? You know the guy really well, who's I think a 4-time SCCA national champion autocrosser. That'd be Mr. Vortex of Danger himself.
Yeah, Randy Popes. Yeah, because I idolized him. He was driving a Corvette in autocross, and you'd read about him in the SCCA magazines all the time.
He and I had a pretty deep conversation once about why he feels autocross is a great training tool to go road racing, and why road racers who've never autocrossed get so frustrated when they then go trying to autocross. You don't want to, and it's not impossible. You can certainly learn the discipline, but with road racing, we get lap after lap after lap after lap to learn a racetrack.
Yeah.
And by the end of the weekend, you're going to know where to go, where to turn, where to stop. One of the skills in autocross is you usually get one track walk, and that's all you get to learn the racetrack.
Yeah.
And then you get 3 runs at nationals. Usually local races is 4 runs. And then you've got 4 runs to get it right. And so this one of the hugest, one of the most important skills in autocross is being able to walk that course, get it in your brain, and maybe throw away 1 run learning it, but certainly not 3 because you got to get 1 good run there. And that's a big skill that's really hard for road racers who've never autocrossed to go back and learn. So
and it was difficult to learn, but once I did them so much that it became
you get good at it.
Became good, yeah. But then I disappeared from it.
Sure.
I did the mountain biking thing, and then soccer and just other sports.
Yeah.
And then I got back into it with the MR2OC with my club, and we would host track days and autocrosses and that. So I got back into it a little bit. I did I did okay.
Yeah.
But I wasn't at that level again because you're just not doing it all the time.
Right. Of course.
And that's kind of when I fell in love with the road racing part, the track day part. Because to me, that just seemed a lot harder. But then when I went back in, it's like, oh, I have just totally lost it because the skill level required to do that and the remembering.
Yeah, it's a lot of muscle memory.
The remembering, yeah. And even up here, it's like, where do I go?
No, I'm talking about this muscle memory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And knowing that when you walk it, you're, I'm 5'11", so I think I have a really big forehead. So I think my eyes are around 5'5". And in the car, I'm a lot lower. So it's a different view. So
and there's a whole skill. There's 2 skills in walking the course. One, just learning where to go. But then there's another whole set of skills that you only get after doing it a long time of being able to walk the course and then think how your car is going to perform and whether you want to backside a cone or front side a cone, and the line you want to take for your particular car. And then there's other people getting in different cars. And I'm like, man, how do you be fast in so many different cars?
Yeah. I never understood that because I had a hard enough time learning my own.
Right. All right, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Good week.
Yep.
Gonna be back again next week. We'll have some sound, some victory circle from.
So I wanted to apologize, folks. I've been so busy doing actual ChampCar work that I haven't been able to edit the video from this past weekend for the interviews. I'll get that done this week, and we'll play it at next week's show. Salins took both races for the weekend, but it wasn't given to them. They had to work hard for that race. Visceral Racing. Did Visceral win? No, Visceral had to come in for a pit stop right at the end.
Right.
And they were at the end of the day Sunday. We had a long green flag, and I think they really needed a code 35 or 2.
Yeah.
And they didn't get it, so they had to come in for a pit stop with about 10 minutes to go, and they had a 2-lap lead. Well, they lost that. So, and then they had a penalty too, which dropped them down a lap. So, yeah, it was a tough weekend for Visceral. They ended up doing well.
All right.
And yep. And for those, don't say what, but I don't know, a couple of years ago, Visceral, or 2 years, not this year, but the previous year, Visceral won the national championship. A lot of teams get all kinds of cool stuff for the national championship. Visceral didn't, but I made up for it this weekend with them, and I hope they're happy.
There you go.
So, thanks, Ron.
All
and so, yeah, and we're back next week, and we'll have some more fun.
All right. That's going to do it for another episode of Inside Champ Car. If you like what you heard, subscribe to the podcast or the YouTube channel so you won't miss any episodes. Also, it would be great if you share it on your social media channels. You can comment on the Champ Car Facebook page, especially if it's a good one. New episodes every week. He's Bill Strong. I'm Brian Bielanski. This is Champ Car Live on YouTube and on the Racing Wire Podcast Network. Stay with us. Next week, we'll be back.